Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This video will be on how to cook and peel potatoes and how to cut them. This video is for people that don't know how to cut potatoes, peel them, or how to cook them, or just need a reminder or some improvements where it can make things easier for them. Anyways, in today's video you'll need a pot, potatoes, a sharp knife, which this knife is also known as the chef knife, I believe, and of course handy dandy potato peeler and a little bag to put the potato peels in. You'll also be needing a cutting board. I recommend a wood one so that way it does not make such a loud noise as you're cutting. So the first thing we need to do, we need to wash our potatoes. I prefer washing them in hot water. So that's what we're going to do. Just give them a quick rinse. Of course, if the water starts getting too hot, you can put the cold water on until you can handle it. If you have a potato scrubber, that would be best, but if not, you can just use your hands and just wash the dirt away and the other bacteria. When it's done, you just hand dry your hands with a towel or a paper towel, whatever one you have handy. And then from there, you just start peeling. Now to peel, you'll need your potato peeler or a knife if you have experience peeling with a sharp knife. If you're going to peel with a sharp knife, I recommend a small knife like so. However, if you're not comfortable peeling with a knife, I highly recommend a potato peeler. Anyways, to peel a potato, you hold it in your non-dominant hand, and your dominant hand will hold the knife or potato peeler, whichever one you're planning on using. Thumb on the far side, and the potato peeler top part of the blade is on the other side. And then you just use your thumb and your fingers and your wrist to push the potato peeler towards you. Now at first it might be a little bit challenging, but that's okay because you'll get the hang of it. And you just continue to peel. Now some of the potatoes you'll run into will be bad, and you just cut that end off. But we'll get there when I find one. If the potatoes look to be on the green color, that is fine. It just means that they're underripe, I believe, but they're soft, so it means they're not gonna last much longer in the cupboard. For storage wise, it's best to have them in a dark spot. But if you do that, you will get heads. These guys here, and they'll start growing roots. And as you just keep peeling. And here we have our first bad spot. So this top part here is to scoop out the bad stuff. If it's too bad, then you can use the other knife. But it don't seem to be too bad. What you just saw there, please don't do, because you could cut yourself. That was my mistake because it slipped. So please do be careful because you could cut yourself. And you just keep on peeling. If you like to listen to music, you can. I just don't have music on right now because I would like you to be able to hear me. No, I don't like listening to music very loud. It's just that I don't want the camera to focus on the sound of the music instead of what I'm trying to teach. So these little peels here are garbage. You just put them in this little bag over here. Or whatever it is that you're planning on using for your garbage. Keep on peeling until you are fully finished with all your potatoes. A white potato means it's fully ripe and that is ready to cook. But you can still cook the ones that are green. It's just that they might be a little under ripe. Okay, so when you hit this big of a bad spot, I just recommend just cutting it off. We will be needing the small knife. To prevent yourself from being cut, hold your fingers like so, and just do your best to cut. Now I know that's a lot of potato being waste, but it's better to waste it than having it spread. Because once the potato starts going bad, it will just continue to spread onto that potato until you have to throw it out. So potatoes are actually good for a couple of things to make. Potato salad, scalloped potatoes, and you can even make your homemade chips to snack on. Now what you just saw there was a mistake. I don't recommend people doing that. Because if the knife were to slip, I could have cut myself. So I'm also showing you some mistakes not to do. So when you're peeling with a head, you just basically continue where you were and you just peel. Sometimes you can use a knife if you think it'll be a little bit faster. It's entirely up to you. So once I'm done cooking these, I'll show you guys how to make a potato salad with these guys. Bigger potatoes take a little bit longer and a little bit more patience than normal. Sometimes you can't get your fingers to cooperate, but it's highly recommended to do so than what you just saw me just do without using my fingers. So before you do any type of cooking, you should really wash your hands first before you even touch the food. Especially if you're planning on working in a restaurant type of field. It's just better that way. Because then you're preventing people from getting sick. Once done peeling, set aside the peeler, and we will start cutting the potatoes and put them in the pot. Now we're going to start with the biggest one. Use your chef knife or your biggest knife that you are comfortable with using. Hold it like so, where your fingers are, your thumbs there, fingers here, or you can hold it where your thumb is just on the inside, and your one finger is bent on the top. Your hands are holding like this. However, the drawback with this position, if you lose control of your knife, you have a possibility of slipping. Versus this grip here, you have a much more control of the knife. So what we're going to do here is cut the potato in half. Set aside the one potato, or the one part of it, and then we're going to cut it in half again. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut it in half into 4 small pieces so that way it can cook faster in the pot. Once you get it to about this size, you can even cut smaller if you like, you put it into the pot. And you just keep going. Yeah, they're a nice size. Now the reason why you want to cut it where you're not cutting with the where it's rolling is because it will move around and you have a higher chance of cutting yourself. So see how it's all wobbly, and if I were to try to cut that, I would have a higher chance of cutting myself versus solid on the ground. Yes, it's still moving because the cutting board is wet, but I have a much more better control of it than what I just had. Now sometimes your sharp knife will get stuck. So all you do when it gets stuck, you cut through, and you slide out. Do your best to keep your thumb inside. I know sometimes it can be hard when you get into a habit, but it's just better that way. Now, if your potato is moving with you, then that's where the exception comes in, and you just have your fingers out like this and your hand above the blade, so this way you don't lose control when you slide out. Now as you can tell, I just lost a moment of control on the another thing to keep in mind of while you are cutting is someone is trying to talk to you. Stop what you're doing, like finish what you just cut, look up, and look at them. Do not look away from the sharp knife. That is a one-way ticket to cutting yourself. This involves the absolute most focus. Now, as you can tell, I've been pointing the knife down as I'm cutting. That is the proper way to cut. If your knife is dull, there is a couple of knife sharpeners. I will do a video on how to sharpen knives. Now it just got stuck, so pull out your knife. Try to find where you cut. and slide back down. Try not to take your knife all the way out like I just did, because you might have a harder time finding where you cut. So that is just something to avoid. Once done, your pot should be filled. Well, maybe not as full as I have mine. It's just I like making big batches. And then you fill it up with water. Make sure that all the potatoes get underneath the water. So you'll want to fill up the pot to about 3/4 full. Put the lid on. So as you can tell, the potatoes have started to boil. So we just put the lid on a tilt, or we just put it on the edge. We lower the temperature to between 2 and medium. And then we start putting the timer on. Now we're going to try for about 10 minutes. Just to see how the potatoes are doing. To check the potatoes to see if they're done, we just poke them with a fork. Just keep an eye on the potatoes to make sure they stay in a boiling state. Again, you do not want to turn off your burner completely off until your food is fully cooked. Even though turning it off early will save you on hydro. But it will severely undercook your food. I'm just going to turn it back up to medium. And just keep a close eye on it. So in roughly 10 minutes, we'll check to see if the potatoes are ready. So the buzzer went off. We are just going to check the potatoes to see if they are ready. All you do is that you poke. One potato is ready. I'm going to poke at least 3 of them. That one is. And that one is. So, the size of potatoes that you see me cut will be ready in 10 minutes with straight boiling water. I just turned off my burner. And I'm going to get a strain because I am actually making this into potato salads. And I will show you how to do so. So once your potatoes are done cooking, depending on what you're planning on using them for, you should always drain them. Just try to brace yourself with the hot steam. That's the only thing I am requesting. Once you get the potatoes out, drain all the water, and then put them back in to the pot that you just took them out. And then with cold water, you will fill that pot up. Give it a shock. Because you don't want the potatoes to continue cooking, so to prevent them from cooking, we will use cold water to give them a shock. And if you can handle the heat from the potatoes, you just fill it up and make sure that the water is covering all of the potatoes. And that is it. You just let the potatoes cool down now until you're ready, unless you are making mashed potatoes. Then you just put them in the bowl that you want them in and start smashing them. I will do a video on that, how to make mashed potatoes. And until next video, thank you for watching. And this is how you cook peel cut potatoes. Until next time, follow me on Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. You can leave a message on any of those accounts and leave a comment if you wish to have more videos like these, or like to learn something different on the cooking or baking. And until next time, thank you. Bye.